Hi everybody. Growing these beans is going kind of slow, but it is going. And I have managed to keep my time occupied by working on these bees. Beekeeping takes a fair amount of space, especially when you're doing a lot of breeding, and particularly if you're hooking it up to a logistics pipe system as I plan to. So while I was waiting for these beans to grow, I decided to build a little house for the beekeeping. It's mainly going to house things like genetic machinery and centrifuges and just other things involved with keeping and raising bees. These apiaries are set up for automation. The gates power the wooden pipes, and the diamond pipes filter out the bees into their proper places. Now these work great as long as you're not breeding the bees. That is to say, as long as you want the bees to stay the same, then this filtering setup will work just fine. And of course, all of the produce, the honeycombs, and other things that your bees produce get filtered into here. Over here, we're actually trying to breed the bees. With a little bit of success. I've got a common princess here. And let's see if I've got anything else common. No. So we'll just keep trying with the rest of these. In order to get the kind of pipes I really want to use, which would be the logistics apiary refillers, I'm going to need some pollen. And for this kind of pollen, you need industrious bees. So you start by breeding a common drone, and there are a lot of combinations that can give you a common drone, but we're starting with the basic forest plus meadows. From there, we'll be breeding a common with either a meadows or forest to get a cultivated. And from there, a common plus a cultivated can give you a diligent. And then on up to the unweary bee. And finally, the industrious bee, which is our goal for this episode. On the way, we may also be getting a noble drone and working our way up to imperials, since they follow almost the same chain. In fact, they follow the same chain on up once you get past the common plus cultivated. Now, I have already gotten a common queen, but she's not quite stable. She keeps producing drones that are either forest or meadows. She may give birth to a forest or meadow princess. Over here, we've had so much success that we have already gotten on with cultivated, which is really handy. But we're still going to need those common bees in order to get to the next step. There is also a very handy tool called the Beealyzer. However, it runs on honey drops, which is why I'm trying to get some more honeycombs to run through a centrifuge so I can analyze these bees as they come out. So we have a bunch of machinery here. We've got the centrifuge, and we already have that set up to automatically put its produce into the squeezer using the logistics pipes. But I think I want to disable that for right now. Because I need the honey drops before they get squeezed into honey. The honey I needed for the carpenter, and I will need it some more, but right now I need drops, which I'll get with just a little bit of centrifuging. 8 honey drops. Not a lot, but every bit helps at the start. The good news is it looks like we have both a common princess and a common drone, but let's see how pure they are. She is both common and cultivated, and he is common and forest. So there's a good chance that they will just keep doing exactly what we want them to. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to keep on cycling these commons until they get more stable and have entirely common genes. And I strongly suspect that we've already achieved that with the cultivated. And then, once they've stabilized, we should be able to build up a number of drones. Once we've got that, we'll be able to convert some of these princesses into the kind of queen that we want. And checking on our common queen, and she seems to have given birth to a forest princess, and a common drone and a cultivated drone. But she's still got common in her. And this guy's got some diligent. So we may be kind of leapfrogging over ahead to our goal. That sometimes happens with these random genetics. Getting a jump ahead to a particular species can be pretty nice. Although it means I'm also going to have to backtrack in order to get up the imperial branch. So these bees that I've been trying to breed into common bees apparently are simply not willing to settle for being common. In fact, they're getting really close to being the industrious bees that I was trying to get in the first place. That's going to be a big time saver for me. I'll have to start over again on the commons for when I'm ready to go into the noble branch. But I can live with that. So yeah, that's kind of a pleasant surprise. The cultivated ones are coming along just fine, nice and stable. And I've got chocolate frames in there to accelerate their lifespan so that they will produce more drones. And these guys, really not sure what to do with her. But it'll probably be easier to decide once I've got enough honey to keep this beealyzer going. I keep running out. Well, good news and bad news. The good news is I have managed to get some industrious bees going. And I was just getting ready to automate the apiary. The bad news is, there's a zombie in my backyard. A zombie villager, specifically. And I don't have a potion of weakness, but I still feel like curing him anyway. This could be kind of dangerous to the zombie. Yeah, I think I was mistaken about these doors, too. Okay, he has weakness. And he has an apple. And from what I've read, it takes 2 to 5 minutes for them to actually be cured of zombieism. And now we know that the weakness from a bound sword applies. Of course, while he's being cured, he also has strength 1. So if I let him catch me, he'll hit me harder. Fortunately, it doesn't seem to be too hard to run away from him. Although once he's cured, I'm going to have to secure that gate. It's too bad, I liked the look of it. We'd better get him inside. Oh. Well. Next time I'll have to make sure he has some shade. We have our fully industrious queen going, and she was with a fully industrious drone. So we're ready to cycle them. And off they go, in the grand journey of the circle of life. Sort of. As soon as I set this. So, we'll let these guys cycle around a few times and build up a few bees and hopefully come up with some pollen for us. Then we'll be able to set up some pipes for the logistics pipe system to hook up to this. And there's a pollen cluster. And that should have us ready to work on some logistics pipes. Alright, so pipes, redstone, redstone, propolis, and pollen, and blank modules. And apiary refiller module. And it does seem to me that the industrious apiary should be the most fitting one to start getting its automatic refills. And we can start automating the feeding of the centrifuge. Or automating it further, as the case may be. One more thing before I close this out, though. I have an announcement to make that I'm going to start a hiatus at this point. There's a lot of things I want to do with my real life, and my production has been slowing down, and I don't think my quality's been getting better either. So I'm going to take a break from the Minecraft videos for a while. And I'm going to focus more on nomadic skies and a number of things in my personal life. But I will be back. Also, I'm really not done playing with these worlds. So any times that I come up with something I'm particularly proud of, or just have something I want to say to you all, I'll still be posting new episodes from time to time. But I'm not sure when I'll be putting out regular episodes again. So until further notice, I've been Crazy Eddie, and this has been Pain in the End. And I'll be back. And until then, have some fun, build something cool, and have a nice day.